Now then, back to normal business as normal services returned. Went to my usual car boot sale today. Now I think there was a bit of a mix-up with the weather. Some people didn't know it was on, some people didn't know it was off. Well, it was on, and there wasn't too many stalls there, and it wasn't a great car boot, but I did manage to find a few little pieces. Now I bought 3 empty toolboxes just for storage reasons, and in the bottom of one of those I found this little thing. It's a bubble or a level, and it says in it, plastic. It says Practical Hi-Fi, IPC 1981. So that, I think, was a free gift on the front of Practical Hi-Fi magazine back in the day, 1981. And my uncle used to work for IPC, the printers that used to make those. And yeah, that was just in the bottom of one of the boxes. So that was that. First little piece of a really rubbishy and rubber yellow Stanley knife to go with a Stanley knife collection. It's not Stanley, it's Chinesium or something, I don't know. But yeah, I have got yellow, so that will just display nicely. So I picked that up for next to nothing. Also in the bottom of the toolbox, empty toolboxes, was a couple of nice spanners, and this one's particularly nice. This being the Terry Spanners Tempered Steel. Large one for Terry's, but it's beautifully stamped. Made in England. BA1, BA2, I think that is on there. That was a nice little find, but it's just beautifully printed. Really sweetly printed. So that was a nice little find. And that was just a little generic 7BA, 5BA. Yeah. So I found them in the bottom. Now, does everyone know what one of these is? It's a Hellmann's. Nothing to do with the mayonnaise. Hellerman. Yeah, two N's at the end. Now I used to use these, and that's all it does. That's it. Any guesses? We'll come back to that at the end of the video. See if it gives you time to find out what it is. Right. It's another bit of a kind of a, well, this is electrician's tool. This is what we know as a pyro stripper. It's a large one. There's the blade. Your pyro would go through there. Now, pyro was fireproof cable. You'd have several cores in the middle, whether you wanted a 2-core, 3-core, 10-core. And it would be insulated with a powdered material, fireproof powder material. Then there would be a copper sheath around it, and around that would be plastic. Now, when you had to terminate the ends of these cables, you would need several little bit tools. This would be one of them that you'd use. Now you'd adjust that to whichever size of cable you were stripping. This would go up quite large. And this was to strip the copper part of the pyro. And you would turn it like that. Oh, you would turn it on the copper. And as the copper peeled off, it would reach over that bar and would go off in that sort of direction. A nice twisty out of the way, so you could strip off as much as you needed to strip. I don't think they use pyro anymore. This is a big one, so it would have been for large pyro, so I suspect it was to do with lift shafts and that kind of thing. You often found very large pyros in the lift shafts. So yeah, so a pyro stripping tool, large one. And I haven't got a large one this size. I'm going to look out for some more pyro tools to match, because they're set. You have a ringing tool and you have a pot tool. They were the specialist tools, and they came in different sizes. So I want to get the full set. Don't know who made them. Nothing, unless they were made by Pyrotanics, as it was called. The company that made the cable probably made the tools. There is something on there. My eyesight being as shocking as it is. It says Pyrotanics. Yeah, they made the tools then. Yeah, Pyrotanics. Right, so that was that. Where should we go next? Yeah, might as well. I found this old big boy. Another adjustable spanner. It's got a bend in it, but that'll easily straighten out. No maker's mark as found as yet but I don't have one of this style. This cost me £3. See, I'm good when I remember, when I do it on the day that I went. I can remember things. Anyway, £3, and runs quite nicely, considering. And not too much use in it, just that bend, as I said. But, yeah, I haven't got one that type, that shape, so there you go. Now, I picked up another one of these. This is very well movable. It's lovely. Runs very smooth. There's a name on there. It's a Ford. You can tell the Fords often have that square end, but it's a Ford. Not surprising, considering I'm not a million miles away from Dagenham, where most of these things were made. And yeah, I just picked up another one. And another thing I don't normally pick up really, but I seem to be doing, is another Raybone 24-inch rule. Not in the greatest condition, but the Raybone side of it is printed beautifully. Lovely font, as always. Got a couple of pins at the end there, so that when you close it up, they shouldn't move around, they stay in place. So yeah, that will go to the measure collection. There's quite a few in there now. And some more tins. Couldn't resist these at 50p ago. No idea what's in them, but they're nut browns, and the tins are in quite good quality. So what do we got there? Well, they're number 6 head, I reckon. Number 4s or something. 2 inch. Yeah, 2-inch screws in there. Quite a lot of those. In this one, and they're all nut browns. What have we got there? Some round head bolts. With coarse thread, actually. They're not gut bolts, but steel bolts. Box number 3. I think they're key ring springs, aren't they? You can put your keys on. Lots of them. They might come in handy. Often need them. And the last one, this is heavy. Large screws. So nothing too sexy or exciting, but what are they? 2.5 inch? They're not quite 3 inches, are they? Yeah, just nice tins. So I'll put them with the myriad of other tins that I do have. Now, back to the Hellermans. It's a Hellermans stretching pliers. Now, what we used to do was, when we terminated certain cables, especially fireproof things that I remember, sometimes you'd have to put a rubber sleeve around them. What they use today, I suppose, is shrink wrap, and you just put it over and heat it up. But we used to use this, and you put it over there, you'd open it up wide, put your cable through, close it down, and then pull it off, and your rubber seal, a little piece of seal rubber about that sort of length, would then be on the end of your cables, and it was all neat and tidy. And that's what we used them for. Oh, it's got paint number 2, which is nice. You can see that on there. But yeah, so there you go. Hellermans, yeah, stretching pliers. Yeah, I don't suppose they're used anymore with shrink wrap and stuff. But there you go. That was it for today. It was, like I said, it was a quiet one. And as my son always says, like and subscribe. Oh, and chuck a comment down there as well if you fancy it. Hello to Toby and Oscar as always, and hopefully see you on the next one. Take care.